So I'm Shirene. I'm a senior at Tisch and I study photography and art history. I'm actually doing a double major. I'm from New Delhi, India.
My name is Michael and I'm 23 years old. I'm from China, Guangzhou specifically, and I'm a graduating senior in photography and imaging.
My name is Sohyun. I am una donna di certa età. I'll just put it that way. And I'm an artist.
Hi, my name is Celeste. I'm from Taiwan and I'm 34. I'm an animator and a tattoo artist, and I also draw for comics and illustrations.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Widjaja. I go by she, they pronouns. I'm from the Bay Area.
She, they pronoun.
In California. I'm 27 years old. I am a tattoo artist, but also a graphic designer and an illustrator.
I'm Citrus. I'm 28 years old. I use they pronouns. I'm a tattoo artist, a hand poker here at Longtime Tattoo, and when I'm not tattooing, I am pursuing acupuncture.
The responsibility I have as an artist is obviously to create art, but creating art that is deeply resonant with personal stories. I would like to take pieces of my tradition and my culture and my religion and sort of amalgamate that into a fresher voice, because there is already a created rubric of South Asian identities.
I think that the culture blends in us in every day and everything we do. And when I create art, I'll tend to find the balance within my artwork, within my photos. We have the concept of yin and yang. It's from Taoism.
I feel like a lot of us draw so much Asian motifs and from our background that it is organically you get a lot of people that are I'm Asian and I identify and I really resonate with your work.
I don't think you can take it out of my work. I don't think my work would be anything it would look nothing like this if I wasn't Asian and if I wasn't queer and
I don't necessarily gravitate towards Asian motifs as a motif for me, but my work is Asian because I'm Asian.
I had a show in 2007 at 예술의 전당, which is the Seoul Art Center, and there's a museum called Hangarum. So they invited 10 Korean artists in New York, diaspora. So we had this incredible exhibition there. And all these Koreans were coming up to me after seeing my work. They said, 피는 못 속인다, which means you cannot fool blood. Even though I grew up, in diaspora, away from Korea, but it's just my touch, my sensibilities, I don't know, something that they recognized to be distinctly Korean, which I thought was fascinating.
My name is Lisa Gold, and I am the Executive Director of the Asian American Arts Alliance. We do a lot of work in coalition with other organizations across the city to fight for equitable representation, just to ensure that our voices and our stories are told. Asian Americans are the fastest growing ethnic group in New York City. We comprise more than 18% of the city population. And I feel very, very strongly about ensuring that people understand that they know that they recognize that Asian Americans are Americans, and that we have equal representation, which we do not right now.
There is a lack of representation in the United States, not just for people of color, but I would say Asian, South Asian artists, and I would like to voice those struggles with my work, sort of create this platform to share their voices and then put that together.
The artwork we are currently living in is created and led by the West, so they get to make the rules.
We are so removed from those institutions because we're so unseen by them in a way that is we're outsider, and then in that way, let's just make our own. And making our own has yielded so much more.
The purpose of this space, the way it looks, the way we act, is not necessarily to be professional. Obviously, we would, it's not terrible to have an air of professionalism, but it's to be comfortable. And it's to be a space where all bodies are comfortable, but especially queer individuals and Asian individuals.
There need to be more spaces, and there is not a single cultural institutions group member that is dedicated to the AAPI community. They're not Asian-led or predominantly Asian serving. I think that by speaking up, by learning how to advocate for ourselves, by banding together, by working in coalition, I think that's how we're going to be able to create those spaces.
I think having your work in a physical space is like a social transaction in the sense that it's not your work of art anymore. It also becomes your audience's work, and being surrounded by people or just being surrounded by the artwork, it lets you absorb the art in a very different way, and we should really protect that because it's an experience. It's out of convenience that people would go look at artworks online, and I don't think art should be made convenient. It's not a convenient profession. It should not be looked conveniently.
Like 15 years ago, I was definitely like, there was not a plethora of Asian people that we can go to, or even creatives.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't this many, like even the event that we tattooed at, like Green Tiles with like
So many Asian
mahjong
people.
events. I was like, in mahjong events, like with like chef cooking that are all Asian. I'm like 10 years ago, you could not have thought of that as like something that is like readily available for you, and that was just such a difference.
For me, Asian culture, Asian community, Asian food, it was all kind of tinged with like, whatever family traumas it is I have. And so going to these events, receiving these warm hugs from future aunties, like just getting to be a part of these hyper modern but also hyper traditional Asian spaces it just feels good, right? It's like I'm finally seeing that in these spaces, like what we're going to grow as.
I think it makes our city and our country better when we understand and we hear and we see the diversity of stories and experiences. It makes us more compassionate. It makes us more creative.
You yourself have to grow and learn. Mr. Esteban Vicente, the first generation abstract expressionist, who I used to know, always said you have to grow and grow, otherwise you die. And he said this when he was 96. What I admire about New York and about America in general is that it's not perfect, but there's always a striving towards something better and a striving to change what should be changed.